shit. All right. Testing 1 2 3. Yo yo. Testing 1 2 3. Yo yo. Okay, sounds fine. All right. Let us get started. Before we get started on these characters, gonna do a little warm-up. It's kind of warm up in the beginning. You don't get some drawing action going before we actually start. Actually, what if I do that? All right. Let's start making some characters. Recently, I've been practicing some silhouette techniques to really elevate my silhouette and composition when it comes to, you know, bigger forms. So I think for here, what we're going to be doing is, you know, more just like practicing silhouettes, creating some concepts for the next character, really trying to feel out the energy, you know, going forward. In our last concept, we, you know, we're making a like Sisters of Battle kind of character, and I really enjoyed doing that, or at least like a Warhammer style character. So I want to keep up like some of that momentum, you know, with either mixing factions or faction inspirations. Like here, where I'm thinking about like the Dark Eldars versus like the Sisters of Battles. Like, what if that's a mix? You know, just like fun little silhouette shape designs here and there. You know, really pushing, you know, silhouettes, really, you know, adding some chunky elements to them or slimming them out. So, yeah, I think we have a, you know, solid thing going. So, just gonna go over, you know, quick technique on creating silhouettes. So, essentially, when it comes to silhouette making, a lot of it's just carving out an abstract vision of what you want, right? So a lot of the times, with these abstract visions, you can really come up with a plethora of, you know, ideas from here. So here I'm just drawing the silhouette of a body, because that's usually where we would start a base, right? And we can think about, you know, more, you know, abstract non-solidified shapes that, you know, may go like, you know, common thing is like shoulder pads. I notice a lot of the times in the Warhammer universe, they usually have like this back kind of arch. I don't know what it's specifically called, but, you know, kind of attaches to their back, and it's like this holy symbol. And so, you know, even there, maybe add like the holy symbol. We could half draw it, right? We can create, you know, kind of a beacon, a pillar, right? And so from here, like, just, you know, always keep in mind, at least in your head, this is where you're like, you know, silhouettes always challenge you creatively. If you don't have a huge visual library, a lot of the time what ends up happening with silhouettes is you get lost in the like darkness and like abyss of what you're drawing. So just make sure you have some idea of what you're drawing, because then, like, you know, if you don't, then you get lost. Like in my head, I'm like, okay, I don't know what this looks like. If we pull this over here, I have no idea what this looks like, but I know that there's a head right here. There's maybe some pauldrons right here, abstractly. And then, I don't know, there's gonna be like a chest plate like right here. And then like something along the lines. Like that's relatively the ballpark idea. Everything else is kind of like, you know, you fumble in the details. But yeah, I just want to make that part clear, that if you don't have a solid understanding of what you're drawing or what you're looking at, take more time to kind of really, you know, look at certain objects, look at certain inspirations of real life, study their silhouette, and then when you come back to, like, you know, the silhouette, then you can properly understand, like, oh, okay, like this is this and this is this, and so on and so forth. Since we're doing, I think they, if I remember correctly, some of them, either they only carry swords, or it's usually just chainsaws, or sometimes they carry like big chainsaws, right? Of course, this is like my iteration of them, and this isn't going to be looking at like specific reference to them. We could also have a fun idea here where they use flamethrowers. So we could add, you know, maybe like a tankard, you know, something right here where it's like they have a flamethrower to shoot out at their arm, right? While, like, I don't know, enemies run or something. Let me get here patterning so it looks like, you know, a chainsaw blade. And let's, yeah. Let's make sure that hand reads. Maybe we can have the face show somewhere right here. And then we can, instead of just half a leg, we could show like the full leg. That's what I had earlier. And then here, this is where we start getting into like, you know, more silhouette break, this two-tone area. Because actually, you know what, I'll keep it like that. I'll keep it like that. We're getting into this two-tone area where you can really explore options, right? You know, even here where we're seeing that this kind of very abstract idea of certain elements that we could really push. So yeah. Just like this alone, I think we could have a solid start on maybe getting some more finer details in here. Hey Top, what's up? Thank you, appreciate the compliment. Yeah, I'm just giving a lesson here on silhouettes. Thank you for showing up. But yeah, so now that we got the leg down, let's get more specific on this leg. There we go. Okay, so now that we got that down, what we're gonna do next is essentially lower the opacity, or in this particular case, I like to just increase the brightness just ever so slightly. And then we're gonna add a layer. We're gonna create a clipping mask. And from here we're just gonna do the same thing, except now we're defining the shadows, right? We're getting a lot more specific with our silhouette. Before we were like, you know, or at least specific in the silhouette in terms of interior details. Before we weren't worried about interior details just yet. But I think now, as we are pursuing, you know, a lot more refinement, we can focus on that. And here, they usually have this like chest guard area. And this is the same process that I did for these other characters. It's a new way of approach. I never enjoyed silhouettes because I just didn't have a way of approaching them. But studying, you know, a couple artists here and there on like their silhouettes, I think has really branched me out of my comfort zone for them. So let's get in the hair, the neck. We're getting the chest plate. Now, just kind of go from here. Can add in some props. Kind of, we can still get abstract with this. We don't have to lock in every single detail, especially early on. Now, a lot of the times when I've seen like sisters or sorority angels or characters, I've noticed that they're always like, they're almost like female space marines, and they don't have, they have their like identity in the flames and fire. But I think for me it would be cool to see like a more robotic version, or getting like a lot more crazier with some of their tech. Oh yeah. Let me pull them up for you guys. I actually took a class with this guy, which he does. Let's see, pull him up. This guy, Pearson Sweeney, great artist, fantastic. Love his Warhammer work. Studied it a lot. But yeah, you know, kind of taking my own swing at it, and I think it's been helping me with my silhouette game. But yeah, I think we, you know, learn a lot, and then, you know, sharing it with you guys, you know, my approach and how I'm kind of executing this. can get some of this very... Yeah, man. Also, welcome Sebastian and Ben. It's good to see you guys here. Oh yeah, so now we are, you know, certain areas, we're gonna get more abstract, some areas more specific. Yeah. You can actually do here. Add some tubing. And let's say like this right here. Go. Now we're just getting into really loose like robotics in her hand, and this is not to be a normal hand. Here we would have like the flamer, or at least to what I think it would be, right? Kind of get some more smaller decal details in there. And so yeah, I mean, this is, you know, the rest of it's going to be like further detailing. One thing, you can, depending on what color, like I think I'm pseudo thinking about color as well. If it's a light or dark color. If it's dark, I might just do this where it's like almost abstract in terms of its, you know, kind of how I'm treating everything else. So it'd be more like that, which I honestly think looks cool. And then we can get more flavorful with the, you know, kind of like the texture. You do this. Add some chains, right? We can add some crosses. But yeah, very fun. Maybe you could get a book in here somehow. Maybe, actually, let's put it right there. So yeah, the big goal with silhouettes is you want to be able to communicate the feeling and build on top of that with, you know, assorted colors and textures and all that stuff. But silhouettes are the biggest thing when, you know, communicating a specific feeling for a character. If your silhouette looks like plain and bold, plain and boring, you oftentimes have a harder time selling the character. So yeah, usually starting from this like more traditional angle can really get you out of like a block. Maybe add some exhaust pipes right here. That'd be fun. So yeah, I think here we could have a little bit more fun. I like to add these spikes because it reminds me of like, you know, a tie-in to like the crown behind her and the sun and heat, like the sun form language, kind of going from there. Yeah, I think we can chill from there and do that. And then her feet, let's see. Maybe we can add like more plating. I made the feet really, really rough, so might not come out the same, but we will try. There you go. Yeah, it's good enough for now. Also, the goal with these is like to, you know, make them, you know, not loose and messy and unreadable, but very, you know, you don't have to make this like your final, you know, piece. Like this is the one design and then that's it. You know, you create like 20 of these and, you know, have a plethora of ideas to run from or to go to. So I've been having a lot of fun with this kind of approach and style, and it's really unlocked my kind of creativity with silhouettes. Actually, you know what? Let's bring that. Yeah. I don't know what that is, or I don't know who that is. In terms of sketching as of right now, I'm thinking about like maybe trying to find an opportunity where I have, you know, a week to do like a full character that would be presentable for my portfolio. Like an example for, you know, like-minded students to kind of think about when creating. So I usually challenge myself for the week of, okay, so, you know, creating a batch, a lineup of sketches, and let's go from sketch to final and see what that looks like. So in this particular case, I think now we got pretty much, except for the back part, which we will adjust now, pretty much a solid idea of what we initially are going to want. I think from here I'm going to do some tweaking and making sure this looks as, you know, presentable. You know, for example, like these, you know, some of this stuff doesn't look as polished as it could, or does it, the silhouette doesn't stick out as intended. So actually I might just leave this, like the idea that, you know, the insides may be darker but the outside is like chilling. Yeah, there we go. So in this particular case, now what we're gonna do is merge layers, and we can now kind of create some negative space, right? We already have the two-tone down. Now we can find opportunities for like negative space and filling in details that I didn't before. Two mics. Wait, why do I only add two mics? That doesn't make sense. Hold up. Oh. Hold up. Two mics. You know, you don't have to make this like your final, you know, piece. Stuff doesn't look at. Oh, it's echoing. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, interesting. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Let me see. weird. Huh. All right. All right, testing 1, 2, 3. Sorry for the people who showed up late. Just testing this out, make sure I get it right. Um, what about now? Does it sound like because I'm listening to the stream right now and it doesn't sound like anything in particular, but I'm not hearing it from your moment. All right, lit. Lit. Okay, so okay. Well, hopefully this helps. All right, back to the stream. Go. I'm gonna angle this, get these corners corrected. All right, thing is now we're gonna add backpack. Add the backpack details. Maybe like that. Hold on. Maybe pull it over here. go. Rough built-in. Okay, now we could do the face. Here. Actually, you know what? No. A lot of the times they have like, hold up. Idea is cooking right now. You can either do the white hair. Oh, hell yeah. That contrast? Be so sick. Only thing is I have to be really careful with this because I might lose track. Or not track, but progress in terms of like shape. Oh, right. Let's do this. There we go. Then, I guess we could cut her hair short, but I feel like I see every one of them with their hair short. Go. There we go. Actually, you know what? I'll just do this. Now we're getting to like face details and getting, you know, some appeal in. Which feels pretty anime, which I don't want. Hell yeah. Bring the jaw out more over here. Actually, I might be able to do something with this. Maybe. There we go. Oh. Went in a crazy direction that I didn't like. Okay. Never mind. Short hair looks way better. Yeah. Fun little details, and I think we can, roughly speaking, call this here. I think what I'll do, although this character is a fucking tank, I might just increase her head size just a tad. Hell yeah. So yeah, one character down. Put this character right around here. Maybe add some flames like I did the last time with this character. Or at least like a ball of smoke or something. Let's give some visual flair. Go. this would probably have some smoke. Or there we go. There we go. Adding some fun elements to the character. All right, on to the next. I'm just gonna be doing this for the stream, creating about maybe like 2-3 more silhouettes, and then tomorrow, I'll probably put on my story like a poll of which silhouette looks cool. You guys can vote from there. Let's see, can we get a more, actually I want to get a more different. Maybe like a, something like this. Let's see, let's erase some of this because this is where what I was meaning by sometimes you can get lost in your silhouette. You don't know what it's leading to. Sometimes, you know, you can create some abstraction and see if you could get away with it. But a lot of the times, you know, at least for me, when, you know, I see a silhouette, my brain immediately comes to some type of conclusion. And in this particular case, I think we're getting somewhere. But I think this character is going to be a little bit more of a magic type. Maybe we don't have to spam the... Maybe we can find different opportunities. For example, like here, instead of on, oh, that's cool. Yeah, instead of on the back, or usually would be on the shoulder. Maybe we can have like a cool thing right there. And here we could have a personalized chainsaw. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Yo, Mike, what's up? How often do I switch up my approach? I usually switch up my approach when I'm inspired by an artist. Like, or I think when I'm doing something and, for example, if I'm like practicing foundations, right? Like recently I've been practicing like faces, bodies, like anatomy stuff, like really heavily. And so then my brain wants to like, oh, where can we apply this? That isn't what I'm already doing, right? And so I just like to test the waters with certain approaches. And I mean, if this approach becomes even more and more successful, then like I can keep doing it over and over again from a process. But a lot of the times it's like more of experimenting with stuff that's like outside of what I'm trying to, you know, outside of what I'm normally doing, right? Especially if I'm like dealing with a more like tedious or a approach that is a lot harder, that's usually the biggest indicator of when I'll switch. If a task is like really like tedious and difficult, I'll switch up my approach with a different style and to get the desired result, which is like the feeling of the character, right? But if the task isn't too hard and it's like pretty straightforward, then I usually have a go-to approach or style that I stick with a lot of the times. But yeah, that's hopefully that answers your question. Only thing about this. Maybe do something a little bit more crazier with the weapon. Actually, you know what? Actually, no. Let's do something a little bit more. So it's probably something that I won't necessarily have or do, but why not? That's one thing about making a portfolio project for those who are, early game or mid game trying to make a portfolio project is when you're doing fan art or a project you're a fan of in your like portfolio. Like for example, a lot of people do League, like that's their biggest go-to. A lot of the times you want to make like an adjacent approach that isn't exactly what exactly their one-to-one style, right? And the reason for that is because you're essentially copying something they already do on a day-to-day basis, and you're not adding anything to the team. So if you're not adding anything to the team, why are they going to spend like $100,000 on you? Now, when you think about that, like your worth, they're paying you, right? And so it's like you need it as a concept artist. Like that's your goal. Is like have like almost be like the money's worth of like you're there to generate new ideas as the job description displays. And so from there, it's just like you want to have unique ideas. And when they bring you on, you're not just repeating what they do every single time, right? You want to bring something fresh to the table, right? So here I was like, okay, I did a many chainsaw weapons styled differently. What if we, if this guy has or this woman has a robe, what if we did like a pole arm, like almost a staff looking chainsaw weapon, right? So we're just looking to bring those unique visual cues into the mix. We're going to do this gaze brush. one thing I'm gonna see right here is we're gonna bring this in more. Yeah, so it doesn't have equal width and length. So one thing I'm noticing, a pattern that I'm doing often when doing these silhouettes, is blocking out the fingers and face, because those are usually going to be the biggest blockouts for you when doing the character. Is making sure that your face, you know, once you get to it, is like readily available for you to paint over. Oh, what am I doing? Create clipping mask. Alright, now I need to kind of remember what I approached with. Yo, cool. Thank you very much. Appreciate the kind words. All right, we're getting somewhere. Started off like, I don't know where I'm taking this, and now I feel like I have an idea. It would be cool if actually it's like an alien version of it. I don't know. I feel like I feel like this character in particular needs something in the back. Let me move their head around because I feel like yeah, okay. There we go. Alright. Maybe over here, what we could do. So we still need this to raise a little. Get a little bit more bold here. Oh. Maybe instead of that, we could do, ooh, maybe, hold up. Instead of on the back, do it on her like left shoulder or right, whichever way it's facing. Maybe like that. That goes hard. I actually really like this. Right there. Maybe. What we could do is add like actually, you know what I'll do? To this, we'll have like little things floating in the air. Yeah. Maybe not as alien. Start. Now we're in the process of the pushing and pulling and tearing apart what we do and do not like. So I think here I just want to keep this like that. Also, I give her some like crazy ass proportions, which isn't too bad, but I think we could fix them a little. Again, we're looking to, you know, not making an identical character with the same identical form language, because that's not pushing anything for the IP, right? Like in my head, I'm like, okay, like they already have their established stuff, so you could just take any, you know, if Games Workshop gave you the reins to be like, hey, we're looking to create an extension of a, like, you know, some faction, right? What would that look like? What would you do, right? Could be anywhere from like the, you know, grunts to the high, you know, Inquisitor, or, you know, so on and so forth. Like you have the reins to do all that. What would you do, right? So now we're just doing like crazy ideas. Let's get some highlights in here. Oh, yeah, we could also pop out silhouette over here. let's get into the eyes and the face. Ah, that looks sick if we just kept with the white hair theme. Like in my head I was thinking about like, oh yeah, probably like lore reasons why they have like white hair, but regardless of lore reasons, it looks fucking sick. Actually, you know it'd be sick. She had like a eye patch. might be a little too small. Yeah, there we go. And here, in the back, we're gonna draw a little flame. Oh, one thing I can do that would be a little fun is do a little accent. So each design has its own little accent. This right here has its fire and, you know, something like that. And then for her, maybe some accents, like right there. Some little ones right here. Right? Maybe right here where the tubing is. Definitely right here where the fire is. Maybe some right here. Like one little accent right there. Maybe right here. Actually, no, I don't care for that. Yeah. For her, let's see, you could do this. You can do little ashes of fire right here. Do your claws. The rim of her claws have the accent. Right, chainsaw. That might be it. Maybe little small decals right here. And for her, same thing, maybe like the rim. Some abstract shapes. Maybe nothing too crazy, maybe like just right here. And then for her, maybe like right there. Giant beam in the back. Giant beam right here. Your chainsaw to some extent. And then, I don't know. I don't think we have to go too crazy on her specifically. Yeah. Keep it very vague. I think that's it, yeah. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we can get one more in for the final. Something about there. All right. Let's see. What else do we have in mind? All right, this is gonna be more of a throwaway one, but this could be fun if done right. If done right. Let's do like a chunky berserker one. There you go. Oh, hell yeah. Maybe there's like a shield there too. Let's see. This is a very big scope design, but we will run with it. Actually, I might need a bigger space for this. In comparison to the others, I might need a bigger space to at least work with getting in his weapon. Oh, you know it'd be sick actually? get some more negative space read, because I think last design, or like before I erased it, I felt like it was getting really busy. So let's... There we go. This is random idea. Hear me out. Hear me out. Chainsaw shield. So when one of them comes running at you like the Hulk, instead of having to swing, just like shield bashes, and then there's like a chainsaw attached to it in some sense. And then maybe this. Oh, hell yeah. Actually, let me rethink this. This, on the other hand, is the flamethrower. So it comes in, starts burning everything, starts demolishing, and then like, boom. Chainsaw shield. Actually, it would just let me just do this. Hell yeah. Now, how am I gonna figure all this out? That's the question. So we're gonna lighten it. Oh yeah. I mentioned it earlier in the stream. When it comes to silhouettes, I think teachers inherently think that like you have some level of a palette like initially, and then from there you kind of can create these bold silhouettes and like make them make sense. But if you don't know what you're looking at, especially if you're putting it on paper, it gets really, really tough to deal with silhouettes. Like, just even to finish them, like to get to the second stage where you're kind of like cleaning up and stuff like that, if you don't know what you're looking at, by the time you think you're done with the silhouette and you don't know where the head is, you don't know where the arms is, you don't know how this leg connects to that, dude, you are just gonna fall short on silhouettes really hard. So yeah, silhouettes is always like a very, very, very tricky thing. I don't blame you if you struggle with it, because I think me 5 years ago would have easily struggled with it too. Yo Jay, what's up? Welcome back to the stream. Good to see you. Alright, now we're just going to get bold with this. So what I do know is that this person is encoded into this. This is the backpack. So we're going to have this. Just chilling, doing some ideations, and then tomorrow we're gonna pick which one to go with. right now we're in the middle of doing our last ideation, which is very much just a Hulk character. Previous ideations were here. I think for the last one I wanted to branch it out and like do more. But yeah. Yeah, something a little bit more ballsy. All right, here's where we're gonna figure out this chainsaw hand thing. So what I do know is that it's gonna cut this way. This is where it's gonna get a little tough. Let's actually see. And then what we'll do is take this, separate it, and just do this. Might have to turn this a little. That might work. Yeah. Actually, you know what would be crazy is, oh, I know what to do. I know what to do. Yeah, that's what. Hell yeah. I don't know how this is gonna work, but it is gonna work. And then what we'll do is we'll add chainsaw blades like right there in the center, so it's like a cross. Yeah, yeah, same theme. Always super lost my intent and always have to sketch out if your block is out and I lose the figure while adding the silhouette and moss. Yeah. I mean that's really how it is. Like I mean right now, because I think we switched from like human to like mech, my brain hasn't processed like, oh yeah, like what are some crazy mech designs, right? That some person who like draws mechs all the time would be like, oh yeah, this is super easy. Like I do this all day, right? So it's just a lot of kind of meandering at this moment. And so what I'm gonna do actually, maybe cover this part, but I'm going to try and make this person even smaller. Alright. I think we got where we wanted. So what I'm gonna do, shrink this, scoot it over here. When it comes to silhouettes specifically, I don't think about the functionality just yet. Because if I thought about the functionality just yet, then that's getting into the nitty-gritty, and that could take way longer than I have with the streams, the stream length. So that's gonna be, I mean, granted, I'll probably choose one of the four, or one of the five. But nonetheless, I did have fun making this character. So, what the? Oh, there we go, that's why. So, yeah. So we'll just put 6, honorary 6. Or like spread them out later. But yeah, I think that's it for today's stream. I appreciate everybody showing up, and I shall